I moved to Black Hollow at the start of October, a tiny town buried in the Pennsylvania woods. Quiet, isolated, almost no online presence. Perfect for the peace I was after. The house I rented was old but sturdy, with creaky floors and antique fixtures. The landlord, a wiry old man named Mr. Thorne, gave me only one warning as he handed over the keys. No Halloween decorations, no costumes, no candy, no jack-o'-lanterns. Don't ask why. Just don't. I laughed. Thought it was some quirky town tradition, a leftover bit of Puritanism or rural superstition. I didn't take it seriously. I should have. As Halloween approached, I noticed the town shifting. Storefronts stayed bare. No fake cobwebs, no skeletons. The local school canceled their fall festival. No kids talked about costumes. The few people I passed avoided eye contact. No smiles, no laughter. When I asked the local grocer why the town avoided Halloween, he just muttered, "We don't celebrate the night they walk." I asked who they were, but he turned and walked away. On October 30th, I bought a pumpkin, just one. Out of defiance or boredom, I'm not sure. I carved it that night. Nothing fancy, just a traditional triangle eyes, crooked smile jack-o'-lantern. I set it on the porch and lit a candle inside. At midnight, something knocked. Not at the door, at the window. 3 slow, heavy taps. I looked outside. No one. Just the pumpkin glowing faintly in the dark. I left the light on that night. Halloween morning was colder than usual. The town was quiet, empty. Everyone had locked their doors, pulled their blinds, and shut themselves inside. While sipping coffee on the porch, I saw it. A figure. At the edge of the woods behind the house, nearly 60 yards away. Tall, unmoving, thin as a telephone pole, wrapped in rags that fluttered in windless air. Its head tilted unnaturally like its neck was broken. It stood there all day, watching. At sundown, the wind changed. It howled through the trees like a scream. The sky went gray too fast. My lights flickered once, twice, then steadied. I went outside to blow out the jack-o'-lantern. It was gone. Not smashed, not moved. Gone. In its place were muddy footprints, bare with impossibly long toes, leading from the porch toward the house. I rushed back inside, locked the doors, closed every window, every curtain. I began to hear things I couldn't explain. Scraping on the roof, knocks from inside the walls, and whispers. So soft, they felt like they came from inside my head. The first came before 11. I heard the doorknob rattle, then the voice, "Trick or treat." Software childlike, but wrong, glitchy, like it was mimicking the words without knowing what they meant. I didn't answer. Footsteps walked around the house, slow and uneven. I watched through the peephole. A small child in a tattered clown costume stood motionless at the edge of my walkway. No eyes, just holes. Skin around the mouth stitched shut. It didn't move for a full hour. At midnight, every clock in the house stopped ticking. Not froze, stopped. Time itself seemed to stall. I turned on every light, kept my phone's flashlight on too. But in the corner of every room, something stood, unmoving, watching. Not reflections, not tricks. Tall, shadow-like figures with long, gaping mouths and fingerless arms. Always just far enough away to question, but always closer when I blinked. I looked outside. A procession of them walked down the street, costumes torn, heads twisted, masks hanging off half-faces. Children, adults, some crawling, some dragging limbs, all chanting, "Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat," endlessly, rhythmically. They stopped at houses with decorations, houses I hadn't noticed before. Those houses? Their lights went out one by one, and the screams that followed, they didn't last long. At 2:13 a.m., my back door burst open. No wind, no storm, just them. 6 of them stood in my kitchen. No eyes, no feet, just dangling masks and jack-o'-lantern faces carved into skin. They didn't speak, but the message was clear. I had celebrated. Now I was part of the offering. I ran to the basement, locking the door behind me. I thought I was safe there. I wasn't. The room began to grow colder. Shadows oozed from the corners like ink. The furnace groaned, but it wasn't lit. In the far corner, something moved. Not walked, crawled. A slithering mass in the shape of a human with dozens of hands. Its body made of stitched-together children's costumes, candy wrappers stuck to its flesh. It whispered with dozens of mouths. This is the Hollow. At dawn, the noises stopped. Just like that. I emerged from the basement to a silent house. Everything in place. No footprints, no broken door, no sign of the horrors from the night before. I tried to leave town that morning, but every road out had changed. The trees twisted together, forming archways of bones and rotten leaves. GPS spun wildly. I circled for hours. Finally, I returned to town. I had no choice. That's when I saw the others. People like me, hollow-eyed, pale, moving through the town like ghosts. They had celebrated too. They were allowed to live, but never to leave. Now every Halloween, we keep our lights off. We bar our doors, and we pray to whatever watches us through the trees. Because if even one pumpkin glows, the Hollow returns.